If you get a diagnosis for any kind of disease, it can feel very isolating, very lonely. Well, today we want to put the spotlight on an autoimmune disease that deals with the kidneys and how, while it may be a small community of people, there are some strides that are happening to make sure everybody feels a part of a community. And that's why I am glad to bring into the show today Andrew Udell and also Judy Aiken to talk about being a patient advocate and really creating a sense of community for those folks who are battling this autoimmune kidney disease. Andrew, Judy, good morning to the both of you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So let's dive right in, Andrew. Give us a little backstory here on what we're talking about today, how many patients are out there, and really how we can kind of begin a conversation to create this community.
Sure. IgA nephropathy, or IgAN, it's a rare, progressive autoimmune disease that impacts the kidneys and really results in destruction and inflammation of the kidneys. Affects about 130 to 150,000 people in the U.S. And unfortunately, if it progresses, some of these patients go to end-stage renal disease, which means dialysis or transplantation.
And Andrew, also before we really dive in, what are some of the symptoms? You know, maybe people right now are watching this and are kind of questioning if something's wrong or if some symptoms mean something larger. What do you see in this?
Yeah, while every patient journey is different, typically they have mild or symptoms of the following symptoms that they'll notice. First being blood in the urine or frothy urine. Sometimes they'll get flank pain in the back or swelling in the legs and the feet. But not every patient gets this, and sometimes it's more milder than others in the symptoms.
And Judy, I don't want to bring you in on our conversation here because I don't think there's a better advocate than a patient themselves to share their story. And Judy, that's what you're willing to do today. Why is that?
To get information out there so people do know that there's a whole community out here that's living with this disease. And it's a very lonely place to be when you're first diagnosed. So finding this community, connecting with them, and being able to create relationships is extremely helpful in navigating IgA nephropathy.
Oh, isn't it though, just to feel like you're not alone can really make strides in the mental aspects of fighting a disease, right?
Yes.
You know, well, Andrew, I want to go ahead and let's talk moving forward. And Judy, you talk about the importance of community, but what about the importance of treatment? What are we seeing there?
Sure. So to date, really, in consultation with the physician, obviously the patient needs to go, but typically they start with lifestyle changes, things like diet changes and supportive care that treats the symptoms of the disease. So it tries to lower blood pressure. Fortunately, over these last several years, there's been a lot of research, and our company, Calliditas Therapeutics, has received FDA approval for the first medication that's specifically designed to treat IgA nephropathy. But also very of importance is, Judy talked about community. We've developed something called IgAN Connect, which is an online portal. And this online portal has information for patients about the disease, about questions they should ask their nephrologist, about connects them with other patients. So it's really a community that serves these patients well. So we're very proud of that at IgAN Connect.
Okay, and I want to go ahead and make sure and give Judy the last word here. Judy, what do you think is the best part of this website and why people should check it out today if they or someone they know are battling this?
The connection, really, it's really the connection. When I was first diagnosed, I was extremely isolated. And it's not just for the patient, it's also for the caregivers. You know, when I was diagnosed, I had a 5-year-old son, and it was really hard for him to cope with the idea that, you know, his mom was sick and there was a potential that he might lose his mom someday. So to having those guidelines and those communities for our caregivers to go and get support is also extremely helpful.
For sure. Well, thank you both so much. And real quick, Judy, how old is your son now?
He is just about to turn 9 years old.
Oh, I love it. Hey, take care, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.